Students of class 10th, pay your attention. Just I am going to teach one of the important parts of grammar. In course of teaching, I do want to tell that you have to pay your proper attention in course of reading grammar. You have to listen to very peacefully. The thing that I want to tell you, grammar teaches us how to write and speak correctly. It is your duty to be sincere to your grammar. Clause means margin of the sentence. A sentence that has subject and predicate with finite verb is called clause. The aims and objective of the clause is to help us to form correct concept in course of speaking and writing sentence. There are three kinds of clause. First is called principal clause. It is also called main clause. Second is called subordinate clause. It is also called dependent clause. And third is called coordinate clause. I had told clause, the part of the sentence which has subject and finite verb. That is called clause. There are three kinds of clause. First is called principal clause. The sentence that does not depend on others for its full meaning. The sentence that is sufficient in itself for its full meaning, that is called principal clause. As for example, the examples of the principal clause. The book, this is the book that I like. Here, this is the book is called principal clause. It means this is the book is a complete sentence in itself. It does not depend on others. That is why it is called principal clause. The another example of principal clause is Sunday is the day when I am least busy. It means Sunday is the day is a principal clause. Students, I have written two sentences. The first, this is the book I like. It means this is the book is a principal clause. The second sentence that I have written, Sunday is the day when I am least busy. It means Sunday is the day is a principal clause. It means in both sentences it has been seen that the starting of the sentence, this is the book that I like. It means this is the book is sufficient in itself for its meaning. It does not depend on others. That is why it is called a principal clause. Next, another sentence is that Sunday is the day. It means it is Sunday, that is the day, and it is a complete sentence in itself. This sentence does not depend on others for its full meaning, and it is one of the important parts of clause. This sentence, in this context, I do want to tell you finite verb. Finite verb means the verb that acts as verb. Subject. Finite means limit. It means the verb that acts according to subject is called a finite verb. It is a definition of the finite verb. The verb that acts according to subject is called a finite verb. Now, I am told that the principal clause is the main clause that does not depend on others for its full meaning. That has been taught. That has been told. Now, after principal clause, that is called subordinate clause. Next is called subordinate clause. The sentence that depends on others, other means principal clause, and other clauses for its full meaning, that is called subordinate clause. The another name of the subordinate clause is called dependent clause. It means it is completely dependable on others. The sentence depends on others for its full meaning. That is why it is called a dependent clause. Now, the definition of dependent clause is this: I do it. I do it because I like it. Because I like it. Now I do it. Why do it? Because I like it. That is why it is called dependent clause. It is called, it can be said, subordinate clause. That depends for others clause for its full meaning. That is why it is called dependent clause. Now, the third is called coordinate clause. The clause that is of the same rank in its sentence. It means there is a sentence and every part of the sentence is of the same rank. That is called coordinate clause. As for example, it can be said, I came, I saw, I conquered. came, I saw, I conquered. You see, every sentence is of the same rank, and this is called coordinate clause. What do you call it? It is called coordinate clause. All the sentences of the same rank, it has been divided in three parts. I came, I saw, I conquered. It means I came, I saw, I conquered. Every sentence is of the same rank. That is why it is called coordinate clause. The another example. I have given the example of coordinate clause. Next, I have told you there are three kinds of subordinate clause. How many kinds? There are three kinds of subordinate clause. First is called, there are three kinds of subordinate clause. First is called noun clause. Second is called adjective clause. And third is called adverb clause or adverbial clause. There are three kinds of subordinate clause. First is called noun clause. It means the clause that does the work of noun is called a noun clause. The clause that does the work of adjective in a sentence is called adjective clause. And adverb, the clause that does the work of adverb in the sentence is called a adverb clause. As for example of a noun clause is this, that he said that he would mend a house. That he would mend a house is a noun clause. He said that he would mend a house. It means he would mend a house is called a noun clause. Adjective clause, it means this is the place where I was born. This is the place where I was born. It means it is called a clause, adjective clause. Where I was born, where I was born is an adjective clause. That he would mend a house is called noun clause. And adverbial clause, it means adverbial clause has been divided into 7 parts. I will discuss later on. But here again I am going to summarize what I have taught today. Today I I have started teaching an important part of grammar. It means clause is one of the important parts of grammar. Every term of grammar teaches us, every term of grammar describes how to write the sentence correctly. And every term is correlated to each other. Clause is an important part of grammar. The sentence that has subject and finite verb along with predicate is called clause. It means the sentence that has subject and finite verb. As for example, he goes to the market. Here, goes has been used as per he. And here, goes is a finite verb. I have already told the definition of finite verb. The verb that acts according to subject is called a finite verb. And it is sin acting as per subject. Now, clause has been divided into three parts. It means there are three kinds of clause. First is called principal clause. Principal clause means main clause. The clause that does not depend on others for its full meaning is called principal clause. The clause that is sufficient in its in itself or its full meaning is called a principal clause. The another name of the principal clause is called the main clause. I have defined. This is the book I like most. It means this is the book is a principal clause. Again I have wrote in another sentence, Sunday is the day when I am least busy. It means Sunday is the day is a principal clause. The another part of the principal clause is called subordinate clause. Subordinate clause means dependent clause. The another name of the subordinate clause is called dependent clause. The clause that depends on others for its meaning. That is called dependent clause. Do not talk while she is singing. Do not speak while she is singing. In this sentence, it has been seen. Do not sing is one sentence, while she is singing in another sentence. Both are related to each other for its full meaning. It means it is one of the examples of subordinate clause. As I have told, do not sing while she is singing. Another sentence or another clause is called coordinate clause. Coordinate clause means the clause that is of the same rank is called coordinate clause. For example, I came, I saw, I conquered. What I have told, I came, I saw, I conquered. It is one of the examples of a coordinate clause. After coordinate clause, I have told you, there are three parts of subordinate clause. First part is called noun clause. The clause that does the work of a noun is called a noun clause. It means This is the main thing, that the sentence that does the work of a noun in a sentence, now it's called a noun. He said that he would buy a house. That he would buy a house is a noun clause. Here it is found that he would buy and showed the feature of noun clause. Thereafter, another clause is adjective clause. The clause that does the work of adjective is called an adjective clause. This is the place where I was born. Where I was born is called an adjective clause. This is the book which has been written by William Wordsworth. Which has been written by William Wordsworth is called an adjective clause. So here I have told you what is an adjective clause. And just after an adjective clause is called adverbial clause. It means adverbial clause means the clause that plays the role of adverb in a sentence. And it has been divided into 7 parts. That very adverbial clause has been divided into 7 parts. And first part, adverb clause of purpose. It is told that be it so that we may live. Here it is said that purpose is related. Purpose is found in this sentence. That is why it is called one of the parts of an adverbial clause and an adverbial clause of purpose. So here I have taught you today one of the parts of grammar. In course of teaching I have defined in a simple language to be understood by you. First clause and subject can be divided into many parts. There are many kinds of subjects. Suppose that subject in form of noun, Ram writes a letter. Here Ram is subject. Thereafter adjective also becomes subject. The poor are humiliated. Here the poor have been made by using the subject. And walking is a good exercise. It is also called subject by using the gerund. Walking here is a subject. So in this way, phrase is also a subject sometimes. Slow and steady wins the race. Here slow and steady is a part of phrase, but here it is in form of subject. So I have told you, subject is found in many forms. He is going. It means here he is also subject because he is a pronoun. And here it is in form of subject. And after subject, it is necessary for us to have knowledge of parsing of the sentence. In this context, I have taught you clause. Clause has been divided into 3 parts. And 3 parts is one principal clause, subordinate clause, coordinate clause. And that principal clause has been divided. That principal clause that plays the role of means role that does not depend on others. It means the principal clause does not depend on others for its full meaning. That is sufficient in itself for its full meaning is called principal clause. The another clause is called subordinate clause. The clause that depends on others for its full meaning, that is called subordinate clause. I have already told you what is coordinate clause of the same rank. So in this way, I have taught today clause, kinds of clause and kinds of subordinate clause. In the next class, I will teach you kinds of adverbial clause and some of the special features for the purpose of recognizing the clause, for the purpose of parting the sentence in form of clause will be taught. In this context, I do want to tell that you have to go through the study of the chapter of grammar that is called clause. The term clause must be read by you. In the next class, I will teach you further the function of clause. Thank you, dear students of class 10th. I have started teaching you clause. I have taught you clause. I have defined clause. I have divided clause. I have divided subordinate clause, and everything has been dealt with. It is your duty to listen to the video, and thereafter you have to consult the book of the grammar. Thereafter you will have mastery over it. You will have command over it. Thank you.